So far, we've done a lot. We've achieved a lot in the areas of environment, climate change, gender-based violence, and agriculture. So I'll start firstly with agroforestry, where we have empowered over 50 local farmers, engaging them in skills acquisition to enhance their farming practices as well as their agricultural practices across Bamenda 1, Bamenda 2, Bamenda 3, and Tuba subdivision with the Mbororo women. So we have planted over 2,000 trees, environmentally friendly trees, ornamental trees, fruit trees, which these trees were planted targeting public spaces, schools, catchment areas, and we also engaged in water conservation. And then we have also trained a couple of farmers, over 150 farmers, on kitchen garden creation. These women were trained, and this number of gardens were created for them as a means of empowerment for them to be able to finance themselves, to have a means of income that they can use at the level of the household. Still in Tuba subdivision, which is under the New England Biolab Foundation, we have also engaged with Mboro pastoralist Fulani women. We created a demonstration plot of which Guatemala is currently doing well, and we are looking at creating that of Bracharia in this season. Also, these women have been able to conduct their first harvest from the community garden that was created for them. The income will serve as a means of empowerment. A self-help group will be created with these women where they can save and loan at very minute charges. We have carried a whole lot of sensitization, which we have done through schools visitation, community visitation, as well as radio sensitization. We've done sensitization on climate change. We've done sensitization on land rights. We've worked with the Mbororo women, notwithstanding. And we've also carried out sensitization on gender-based violence, as well as Girls' Pride. The Girls' Pride is currently a program which has been going on for over a couple of years and will be carrying on up to next year, where we engage community members, boys, girls, women, and men, to help to facilitate and create a safer environment for adolescent girls. And in this light, we are actually looking at supporting 1,000 girls, which we have commenced already. We already supported 500 girls with essential school materials. We are encouraging their parents to actively take part in the education of the girl children, while we look forward to working with the community leaders to see how to combat the stereotypes and some norms within communities that hinder or that make adolescent girls vulnerable. As well as we also create clubs in schools, the schools we have visited. So far, we have created clubs in Balikumbat subdivision, where we created 5 clubs, and in Mesam division, we are currently in the process of creating, and we have created 6 so far. And these clubs is basically to enhance and boost the skills and self-esteem of adolescent in-school girls, where we give a platform for the adults to be able to train the younger girls and then work with the boys to ensure that these girls have a safer environment for their education, which will in turn improve on their educational output and also build on their self-esteem and leadership skills. Also, for the Girls' Pride, we intend to distribute 5,000 pads to adolescent girls between the ages of 10 to 19, which so far we have distributed over 1,000 pads and counting within the communities and the schools we have reached out to, while we look forward to going into the communities we have been to distribute to out-of-school girls as well. We continuously engage our parents in community dialogues, targeting them to be able to consistently take part in supporting the education of the girl child, preventing stigmatization that comes with menstruation. We are also educating the girls on sexual and reproductive health rights to enhance on their sanitation, health, and cleanliness. We conducted a couple of community dialogues especially in disaster risk areas, especially in areas that are prone to flooding and landslides, where we discussed with the women of this area. We all know that climate change is a global crisis. It is affecting everybody, and but then it affects women and girl children differently, because basically they are seen as a weaker species and they are always vulnerable. But climate change comes to improve the vulnerability of which these women face within their community. So we have been to this community, we spoke with the women, we found out how climate change has been affecting them, their issues, they gave us their proposed solutions, which was funded under the Commonwealth project, which up by now has been completed. Now, after the proposed solutions, we developed a couple of policies, development plans, and action plans, which has been taken and given and submitted at the regional assembly for further processing. So these women actually were being trained and built up so that they can speak for themselves at the level of the authority, so that they can be given a platform. The project was called Strengthening Women's Voices in Disaster Risk Governance in Bamenda City area, of which we have created three different task force of Bamenda 1, Bamenda 2, Bamenda 3, which constitute women leaders, local community authorities, and some government officials that seek to enhance disaster preparedness and prevention within communities in Bamenda City area. We also sensitize and train journalists and media personalities on reporting, preventive reporting, which is important for our community. And usually, when we carry out those community activities, we do our best to reach out to the community in the language which is best suited for them. And we also work with persons with disabilities, because sometimes we carry out actions and they are being left out, but they face the problem as much as the general population, or even worse, because they're already suffering from a disability, and then the climate issues come to enhance their vulnerability as well. And now, with the Girls Pride, like I said, we have also set up an IT center, which is meant for adolescent out of school girls that will be trained, because the crisis so far has made so many girls to drop out of school. But then we are not only looking at the girls in school, we are also looking at those out of school, looking at building their skills, helping them to withstand all the shocks which they are facing. Currently, we are also working with the Bororo women of Bamenda 1, Bamenda 3, and Bamenda and Tuba subdivision, where we are engaged in involving them in land rights and getting them to be able to speak for themselves the issues which they get to face as a result of land issues. And notwithstanding, most of these are being carried on to next year, which we hope to engage more actions and see better impact from our output stemming from this year. Thank you.